The price isn't right. How wishful thinking can drain an estate. Today, let's talk about pricing a home properly from the start and why it's important. In many cases, with probate or trust properties, we've found that sometimes our clients have wishful thinking. They think, let's test the market. Let's see what happens if I put it on at a higher price. But in our experience, that's the wrong strategy, because a lot of times it will end in a lower price in the end. And this is why. If you choose not to price a home at market value, you'll have less showings. Less showings means less offers. Less offers means lower prices. That's just kind of been our experience over time. So let me explain a little bit more about this. One of the dangers of missing those first initial buyers when you first put a property on the market is that those first buyers are looking for homes within particular price ranges. So for example, you may have a client who comes in and they're looking for homes that are under $799,000. If you price your property at $800,000, they may not see it, or at $815,000, they may not see it. But the fair market value may be in that range. Contrary to that, if you choose to price a home a little lower, let's say you price it at a range price from $775,000 to $799,000, you're going to bring in more buyers because the buyers that fall under that lower range will come in. The buyers that come in, the larger quantity of buyers for a lower price home, will then amount to typically more offers. More offers means countering at a higher price because you're going to then have multiple people who are interested, and it becomes what's called a bidding war. Many times that will lead to a higher price in the end because a higher price in the beginning can then decrease your value. So what do I mean by that? If you come in at that higher price, let's say you list your property at $825,000 and you cut out that potential buyer pool in the $799,000 or under range, even though they might be able to afford something a little higher, you are cutting out a huge portion of your buyer pool, right? You're limiting yourself to just a few people who may not want to spend as much. So their initial offer may be what you have to accept, as opposed to being able to counter offers at a higher price and create that bidding war. Overpricing can also lead to longer days on market. Let's say you put the property on at $825,000. You only have a few showings and none of those showings turn out an offer. The property sits on the market, more people come to show, but people already know that the home has been sitting there. When a home sits on the market, oftentimes what we see is that the offers that you receive later on down the line, let's say 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, those offers are going to be lower price offers because those buyers know that you have not received an offer within the price range that you have it listed at, or at least they assume that. That will then lead to what's called a price reduction. You'll have to make a decision. Are you going to leave the property on the market for an extended period of time at the price that you originally put it at? Or are you going to choose to decrease your asking price so that you can then receive offers? Anytime you decrease the price on a home, it puts you at risk of potentially causing buyers to think that you're desperate for an offer. Desperation creates more negotiating capabilities on the buyer side as opposed to the selling side. So in the best case scenario, what you can do is you can work with your real estate professional to make sure that your home is priced right from the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell button so you get notified of our weekly videos. And if you have a question, put it in the comment box below. Okay, back to our topic. With this, holding on to a property can also decrease the value of the estate for you and the other beneficiaries potentially, because the cost of holding on to a property also has the additional costs associated with the estate. So, for example, if there is a mortgage left on this estate, you're going to be paying that mortgage each month. The longer you hold on to the property, the more you're going to be paying for the mortgage. Additionally, you're going to be paying more taxes. We talk about this in some of our other videos, but when a death happens, the property taxes will increase as of the date of death of a loved one. And so those property taxes are accruing at a higher quantity than what they were when your loved one was around. You're paying higher taxes at this point. You're also going to have costs of just general maintenance. The longer you hold on to a property, the more times you're going to have someone come in and maintain the lawn, potentially fix any problems with the home. The more you're going to be paying for your electric bill, potentially a water bill, right? All of these things are going to add up over time. So holding on to this property for an extended period of time can have a negative impact on your bottom line. Okay, let's talk about an example. We had a client last year who we had worked with, and we really insisted that they put this property on at a particular price range because it matched the market value of what the home was at based on our comparable properties in the area. That particular client insisted that we put it on at a higher price. They thought that the home was worth more and that if they put it on at that price, they potentially would get offers at that price. After some discussion about it, we were able to convince them to put it on at a range price. So the price that we wanted, let's say, hypothetically, we're not going to talk about actual numbers of their costs, but let's say hypothetically we put their property on at $700 to $725. They wanted $725, and we said, well, if we put it on at $700, that's a better price for any potential client. We ended up getting some offers, and they were coming in right at the middle of that range. But because we received multiple offers in that scenario, we were then able to negotiate the price higher and sold the property at higher than that $725 number that they initially wanted. If we had just put the property on at $725, we probably wouldn't have received the offers that we did. Now, we may have, but the buyers are looking for certain properties in certain price ranges. So if they had not had the opportunity to potentially see that property because it was in a range, they wouldn't have even put an offer in. So knowing that situation, it's important for you to know that we are going to guide you in the right direction. We don't want you to sell the home for less than it's worth. We want you to sell the home for the highest and best price for the estate. That's our job. And our job is to help you to figure out what that price would be. Remember, pinpoint pricing is important, and having professionals who can help guide you through making the right decision about how to price a home is important as well. So if you need assistance with selling a home in probate or a trust here in San Diego County, give us a call, reach out. We would love to help you. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell button so you get notified of our weekly videos.